This is Bruce Buffer, and this is the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time for the MMA-Holes!
Mixed martial a-holes. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes. You like to be a mixed martial a-hole. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes.
No way.
From the Sunosi and Diaz studios of Arizona, Diaz versus Poirier off. Derrick Lewis calls out STIPE MIOCIC. KHAMZAT CHIMAEV champion Darren Till canceled. Aljamain UFC 272. We got a lot of stuff to talk about with the MMA-Holes.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Okay. Welcome to the show Wednesday. This is season number 6.
I know it was weird when I was putting the news up. By the way, you're on the wrong news. When I was putting the news up, I had to put season 6 instead of 5.
6.
It was really weird.
Season, so 6 years of doing the Wednesday show. Wow. It's a long time.
Almost.
6, well, yeah, we're on our 6th year
On our 6th year.
of doing
But not the
the
6th
Wednesday show.
anniversary.
It's kind of wild. Yeah. So we started the 6th season. So the Wednesday show was the first weekly show that spawned from Fight Buddies. It's kind of wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Fight Buddies. We would do reactions to fights, and then we're like, let's do a Wednesday show. And we did it for 6 years. So that's kind of wild. So here we are in the 6th season of the Wednesday show in our beautiful living room. I mean, the clouds, just a little overcast, but nice, just pleasant outside. And it is 2022. We have a lot of things to talk about on this wonderful, wonderful show. I need everyone to take a break for a second here. Just pause and hit that fucking like button. Hit the like button, share away the video, spread the word of the MMA-Holes. As we're hanging with the boys.
Hanging with the boys.
We got a wonderful bunch over there. Another thing that's exciting is this year's the year of the black belts.
Yes.
Yeah, in the chat.
That is true. Yeah.
We will see black belts from our members, and I'm very excited to see that, to see them pop up with a little crown and a black belt. So, who will be the first? We'll find out very soon on the MMA-Holes live stream. If you're looking at the thumbnail, there's a lot of stuff on here. Couldn't squeeze everything, but I put myself and Jessie on here because we're celebrities. We're goddamn celebrities up in this bitch. That's right.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And you got a crown on KHAMZAT. You got Lewis versus Stipe. You got Jessie with a Big Mo shirt. Look at that.
That's right.
Very nice. Very nice.
Big bow tie.
Big Mo.
Big mo tie.
What do you think about the clothing line of Big Mo?
Digging
It's pretty
it.
cool.
Quality of the shirt's actually really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I wore mine on Monday, and it was a nice snug fit. I like that. It fits my beautiful physique. So shout out to Big Mo once again.
Yeah.
There it is. Okay. Well, look what squeezed in over here. B-Man. Get loud.
MMA-Holes in the crowd.
Come on.
Get loud. MMA-Holes in the crowd.
Got
MMA-Holes in the crowd.
Oh, we're going crazy tonight.
MMA-Holes in the crowd.
MMA-Holes in the crowd. B-Man, let's go.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Awoo.
Awoo. Is he in here?
Sober Carl.
There he
yeah,
is.
He's in there.
The lone. Thank you, B-Man. That was very nice of you. B-Man being wonderful, wonderful. We got a link pinned in the live chat if you'd like to interrupt the show. 2 hours of sexiness tonight. And, yeah, you know, crazy stuff.
You gotta be your me. Spank away.
Spank away.
ARIEL, HELWANI.
HELWANI. Break it. Wow.
You gotta beat your meat.
Phil Starr
Dana White doesn't like me.
with the brand new donation.
Let's go. Celebratory hands in the air. Cool face.
That's this, Moss. That emoji is this. Raise the roof.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Well, if this is your first time watching the MMA-Holes, welcome. As we have interruptions that are very cringy and wonderful, wonderful. Going on 6 years, crazy. All right, which story should we start with here? I mean,
What's up
UFC
to you?
272, I didn't even get a chance to squeeze that on the thumbnail.
Yeah.
That's been put together. 2 title fights over there. Rematch, trilogy, quadruplegy, whatever. I mean, there's a lot of fights that happen that they're throwing on that card. Which shall we start with, Jess?
I mean, it's ultimately up to you, but I don't mind starting with the 272 news, honestly.
Okay.
So according to MMA Fighting, of Damon Martin, Alexander Volkanovski versus Mac Holloway?
Yeah, Mac.
Mac Holloway.
He changed his name.
Volkanovski versus Max Holloway 3. Aljamain Sterling versus Petr Yan 2 have both been booked for UFC 272. A pair of championship fights will headline the upcoming UFC 272 card on March 5th, with Alexander Volkanovski putting his featherweight title on the line in a trilogy against Max Holloway and Aljamain Sterling facing Petr Yan in a bantamweight title unification bout on the same night. Multiple sources close to the situation confirmed the news to MMA Fighting on Wednesday after UFC President Dana White first announced plans via ESPN. Volkanovski and Holloway will meet for the third time after the Australian previously earned wins in back-to-back fights in their previous encounters in 2019 and 2020. The first fight at UFC 245 saw Volkanovski pull off the upset by winning a convincing 5-round decision over Holloway to dethrone him as a featherweight champion. They met again 7 months later at UFC 251, and Volkanovski once again secured the victory, although this time around he earned a razor-close split decision that many have argued should have gone Holloway's way. Now they'll meet again as Volkanovski looks to defend his title for the first time after defeating Brian Ortega by unanimous decision at UFC 266 this past September. As for Holloway, he's unbeaten since falling for a second time to Volkanovski, having notched wins over Yair Rodriguez and Calvin Kattar. Meanwhile, Sterling and Yan will also face off on March 5th with plenty of bad blood to settle. The first fight between them ended in a disqualification after Yan blasted Sterling with an illegal knee in the 4th round at UFC 259. With Sterling unable to continue, he was declared the new bantamweight champion because of a foul committed by Yan. A rematch was then planned for later in the year, but Sterling was unable to compete after he had neck surgery to repair a lingering injury that had been plaguing him for several years. With Sterling sidelined, Yan ended up claiming the interim bantamweight title with a unanimous decision win over Corey Sandhagen instead. With Sterling healthy again, he will look to settle things with Yan once and for all. As the bantamweights prepare to meet in March, more fights are expected to be announced for UFC 272 in the coming weeks, along with the location and venue.
Wonderful.
Fake Justin Dono.
Can I come back, please? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Aww, so sweet.
Welcome back.
All right, so yeah, that's what's new, and they're gonna be announcing new ones, new fights as time goes on. So be prepared for a pretty lit card, I would have to say.
All right, so it's slapped onto this card here, which Tapology didn't throw it on yet, any of the title fights. But other things to look at are Barboza versus Mitchell, Jessica Eyeballs versus Manon Fiorot. Let's see, Moros versus Agapova, Jacoby versus Alekchuk, Tim Elliott versus Ulanbekov. A lot of interest. Where is this at? Las Vegas? Okay.
I don't know.
Las Vegas. Marina Rodriguez is back. A lot of chicks on this card.
They still have a lot more that they're going to be announcing, so this is subject to change.
It's going to be a lot of surge going on this card. So Marina's someone that I mean, she's been surging. Marina Rodriguez, as she's looked pretty good as of late. 3-fight win streak. Last loss was a split to Esparza. The girl's tough. So Marina charging up, and she's got Xiaonan Yan. And so this will have Max Holloway versus Volk again.
Yeah.
And Aljo, the Funk Master. Which title fight would... All right, so this is kind of interesting. Which would you be more excited about?
Jan Sterling, because of the way it ended.
Uh-huh.
I think that one is for entertainment value, that one has more of a juicy story behind it. But Volkanovski Holloway's really good because that was arguable. A lot of people were against the Volkanovski win. Some people for both of them, but most for just one. So that's a good story too. I don't know. I still think the Aljamain Sterling one is juicier, but they're both great stories. So I'm excited to see both of them.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn here because Volk looks great. Max looks great. They've danced a couple of times already, and Max lost both. One was controversial, maybe two. You can make an argument about.
Some people argued two.
Yeah, I think the second one was way more controversial. I think they got the first one right. I like Max Holloway a lot, and Volk is kind of growing on me.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that Ortega fight, how could you shit on the guy after that?
Well, yeah.
You know? But a third, it's almost like the UFC is like, okay, maybe this time Max will get it. You know, like
I feel that
they just don't want Volk to be there. Just like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I'm kind of on board with you, and I think that the Sterling fight is more watchable too because they've been going back and forth more on Twitter. So they've been trying to keep that beef alive. So it kind of makes you want to watch that one more than the Holloway Volkanovski.
Yeah, if you look at, it's weird. What are you guys more interested in? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna drop the poll in the chat. I'm on the fence because, the storyline, I'm kind of sick of Aljo, to be honest. But I am curious to see, is he going to be able to hold on to that belt? Is he going to be able to back up his word? I mean, there's been a lot of trash talking. We'll go on Twitter in a sec. But let me see what I have a feeling they're going to say Volk Holloway, but...
What? No.
I don't know.
Sterling and
People
Jan
are kind of... We'll see.
A way better story, in my opinion. In my humble opinion.
Excites
in
you
my humble
more. Okay, here we go. We'll go Max. Actually, Volk.
Excites?
What?
I don't know. It's just interesting. That terminology you're using, Moss. It excites them.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I have my mind in the gutter, Moss.
Volk, Max 3. You're surging?
Yes,
Alda?
I'm surging.
All right. Jan. Or we'll go, hold on. Aljo. Jan. I should put you in charge of this since I typed like
I know
a police type.
I've never seen anyone type so slow.
Too.
But I give you credit because at least you're, trying. I'm just kidding. You're doing good, Moss.
I'm trying very hard. Okay.
Good job.
I type like I read horribly. Let's see. Ask the community. So what fights excite you more? Or what fights excite you more? Right?
What fight excites you more?
Excites you more. So I was right the first time. Excites you more. Volk versus Max 3. Aljo versus Jan 2. Correct? Everything's good there? Before I drop it in there, I don't want to drop the wrong. You're just going to yes me to death. I put it in there and you're like...
I'll probably say yes and then something's going to be wrong with it. So I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
But if something's wrong with it, it's not on me because I looked.
It's created. It has been created, and we need to get to the bottom. I'm actually curious because I'm kind of back and forth. I have to be honest with you. I don't give a shit about either.
Sterling Jan is interesting to me.
Yeah, listen. I'm gonna watch, of course, and I like Max out of everybody. I like Max a lot, and Jan I like a lot now too because of how. I mean, the guy he's a savage. Both of his last fights were like candidates for Fight of the Year. Jan is he's just nuts, man. So
yeah. But
I don't know. It's weird. Like I'd rather see Jan versus someone else, and I'm kind of sick of Max Volk. You know.
Yeah,
so
I'm sick of the Max Volk thing too.
And looking at the poll right now, right off the bat, Volk Max 77%.
I don't know what you guys are thinking. Jan Sterling are the only two that have been keeping the feud alive outside of the fight. Like, they're the only two that have actually been selling the whole idea of it. Volk, you're not hearing anything from Volk and Holloway. You're not hearing anything.
B-Man says Max will win this one. I feel like the UFC is just trying anything possible to get Max the dub on this. You know, it's weird, right?
Max is not dead.
Who is, I mean, after that Volkanovski fight, the last one, you got to say, hey, man,
I say
this
wrap
guy's
it
good.
up. There's just no point. He won both times. Like, I get it. It's controversial, whatever. But
who would you put there, though? There's really no one, if you look at the rankings.
But here's the thing. Trilogies make sense when they each win. Volkanovski won both times. Call it what you will.
I mean, you can't deny Max. He's been on fire.
How many times is Volkanovski? Eventually, he's gonna fight Volkanovski or fight Holloway, and Holloway's gonna win. Eventually, if you just keep throwing the fight at him.
So if Max wins, do you do another one?
It's just stupid. Like, it makes no sense.
Is it never gonna stop? We kind of need Volkanovski to win. Like, I want Max to win the fight because I like Max. I don't know. I like that. I like the way he talks. I like all that stuff. You know, I like that. But I mean, I guess the fans win either way because Volkanovski has pretty much shown that he's a legit champ. You know, why we kind of not giving Volk his real due credit?
That's what I'm saying. He already won twice. Like, what are we doing?
Well, why don't we like him?
If you keep doing something over and over again, eventually you're gonna get the result you want, right?
Why do we in the UFC not like Volkanovski?
I don't mind the guy. I like him.
But do you get excited about a Volkanovski fight? Like,
no. But I don't dislike him. I actually like Volkanovski a lot. I'm not, I'm not like I don't fangirl. I'm not like super excited about, when they say Volkanovski's gonna fight. It's not like, oh, I can't wait for that Volkanovski fight.
It's weird, right?
But
is it because he doesn't have,
I don't mind the dude.
Is it because he's not talking trash or anything? He's not really selling it?
I believe it. That's what I'm saying.
He is selling.
Jan makes more sense because they're selling their fight.
Yeah, but you got Volkanovski versus Ortega. Volkanovski went full heel. He went after Ortega.
Well,
he tried. I got to give him an A for effort. Kind of like my typing. I have to give some respect to Volkanovski because he is trying. But maybe that's the problem. It's just not him. Like, I don't know. Maybe the it factor is the problem. Like Israel Adesanya has the it factor. He could be cringy as Fook, but he's just got it. You know what I'm saying?
But he sells himself outside of fighting.
Yeah, but he could basically do anything and kind of get away with it. He's got that whole mojo. Whereas Volkanovski's just a really nice guy.
Yeah.
He tried to talk a little smack with Ortega. It came across.
But he's got to make it work.
But then that fight was legendary. But I don't fucking know. What am I talking about? I have no idea. Let's get to our donations real quick. I'm trying to wrap my head around Volkanovski. Manny C.
Jessie, happier to see you both. Today our company police officer passed away from COVID. Joe was the best.
Wow.
Bust our chops. While I tried to get my co-workers arrested. Who doesn't dream of seeing the boss leaving in the back of a cruiser? Rip Joe.
That's really messed up, man.
Oof. Well, that sucks, yeah. That sucks.
This fucking COVID, man.
Sinosi.
Wonderful.
Calling it now, Olio doesn't make it to fight night. But in all seriousness, if he doesn't show up, strip him.
So, it's funny you say that. I'm going to go to Twitter. Thank you, Sinosi.
I feel like
Manny.
Sterling has pulled out enough leading up to this fight that, I mean, if he does it again, he knows that it's just reckless abandonment. Like, he's asking for it if he does it again.
Let me go to tweets and replies over here. Thank you very much for the donations. The poll is going strong. Get your votes in. I'm actually genuinely curious on which one you guys rather. Okay, so where is their banter? All right, like this I don't even know anymore. I don't even know. So this is Aljo, and what does he say here with this little meme?
My
Jess?
bottom bish. Me. Now bark like a dog. Yawn. Woof woof. I'm a cheat. Woof woof. I forgot the rules. Yawn. Get used to this position. But they were going back. There's like a whole thread.
Yeah, that's what I'm going.
So, yeah, I think you're like starting in the middle of nowhere.
I don't know where it starts.
It's
just
so
been yapping
much.
first.
Yeah, it was going on days.
Friendly reminder, Alja is my bitch. This time I will destroy this little whiner. Even more impressive. So, I gotta, the way Piotr Jan's looked, if I'm Aljo, I gotta be shitting in my pants. Right?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell does Aljo do here?
All right, I gotta bounce. I'll be back soon.
Okay.
Don't have too many interesting conversations
All right,
without me.
I'll just pause the show.
Okay.
Well, what does Aljo do in this situation? I reached out to Ray Longo today. I did this, we had a guest that was supposed to come on, and it kind of fell apart last minute. So I did the mad dash, and I just reached out to 10 different people. When it's last minute, it's almost impossible to get them on. One of them was Ray Longo, and I'm really curious what Ray thinks about this. We got to get him back on the show. Because just from an outside perspective and seeing how Jan has looked the confidence is just getting more and more. Aljo's getting crushed online with all these clown emojis and all that stuff. I don't think it's going to be a good night for Aljo. There's a part of me that hopes Aljo wins because, hey, listen, Law MMA, Longo Sarah guy. But I don't feel very confident about Aljo's chances.
Wonderful.
Tropic Tom.
Normally I just make jokes, but the problem with the Max fight is that everyone loves him. We want to see him win. Volk is a stud but not lovable. Honestly wish one of the two of them just changed weight class.
Yeah, I mean, both of them can go up, really. Max, it didn't work out well when he fought Dustin. But, Volk is interesting. I mean, even though he's short in stature, he's still the guy who didn't he used to fight at like middleweight or something, or heavyweight or some shit like that? I don't know. Volk was a hefty boy back in the day. I can't put my finger on the Volkanovski mystery. For some reason, I just can't latch on to the guy. I don't know. It's not like I hate the guy or anything. And the last fight was fire. I have a lot of respect for him as a fighter, but it's not like, hey, Volk's on the card. Yoo-hoo! Like, I get more excited about Max. And I just can't figure it out. It's a great mystery.
Wonderful.
Sonosi.
Volk versus Max doesn't end till one gets finished. I said it.
So not just the Max win, we need a finish. We need someone to just die. I mean, Max wins this fight, you can lock it up. Volk is too small to move up. That's false. What is that? I mean, height doesn't mean anything in MMA. It doesn't mean shit. And Volkanovski used to be a hefty guy. What was he walking around, like 200 plus? Volk played rugby. I mean, some people are just not aware of his background, but Volk was a big dude. But back to what Sonosi said. Oh, yeah, so if Max wins, you're getting another fight. Like, it's inevitable. Volk is not going anywhere. Volk loses a split decision to Max Holloway. I mean, you have to give him the respect. I mean, Volk gave him 2 shots. He's giving him a 3rd shot. So, I mean, do we want to see 4? I don't know. But the UFC has... Oh, shit! Oh, shit! D-Rest! The intruder! He's back! Ah! Whoa. Wow-wee-wah.
Shout out to all the kids in the chat. Tada. Get hip tada, Jess.
Wow. I will relay the message. Thank you, D-Rest, for the 666. Whatever happened to that intruder? Is there any update with Anthony Smith? Whatever happened with that guy? Thank you guys for the donations. Appreciate it. And I appreciate the Head Rush sponsorship as well. 20% off promo code MMAHOLES for Head Rush. Get your deals 20% off and look wonderful.
Wonderful.
We also got MyBookie to place a bet. MyBookie.ag. I'll be dropping some coinage on the Cater versus Chikadze card. I have to figure out my bet, and I will do it live on the air. MyBookie.ag. And use our promo code MMAHOLES. You will receive a 100% match on your first deposit. Also, got to give a shout out to Polymarket over here. Polymarket, a trading site. And if you use our referral code, the same thing, MMAHOLES across the board, you get up to $100 reimbursed on your first day of trading on Polymarket. And if you're looking to watch the fights, ESPN Plus, link in the description. Thank you to our sponsors, and thank you to our donators for keeping us alive. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Now, back to the topics that have been, it's not even on the thumbnail. We got more stories to get to, but plenty of show to tackle tonight. Volk versus Holloway, which I feel is destined for a 4th fight. You got Aljo versus Jan, which 30% of our community are more excited about that. So clearly people rather see Max versus Volk 3. And I would have to wonder that I'm assuming that people are just rooting for Max in this one. I mean, if you're a Volkanovski fan, you have to be over this fight, no? Now, let me ask you in the chat, is there any Volkanovski fans, any Aussies in the chat, or anyone that, is a Volk fan and wants to see the Max fight? Like, if I was a Volk fan, I'd be like, all right, enough's enough. You look at the rankings, the UFC really doesn't have much of a choice. They have to, Max is basically forced their hand. So let me know in the chat what you think about that. Max won the last one, says Glide. I agree. I think he did. But, decisions are decisions. They go to the judges. What could you do? Maybe Nate will just say F it and fight KHAMZAT for a huge payday. I doubt that. And Nate will not be fighting the Dustin Poirier. We'll talk about that. It looks like the UFC is putting a squash on that. Let's take the lights off the chat. Stipe should retire. He gets KO'd by Francis Organe. Okay. That's a little harsh. I mean, the man, it's not like he's been getting knocked out left and right. No, he has a boring as Fook personality. He already beat him twice. This fight is unnecessary, says Drunk. So there we go. Drunk is saying unnecessary. Chris, for fuck's sake, come clean on how. White Trailer. Oh, I lost you. Trailer Trash. The New Year's buffet was G. I don't know. One day I will understand what you're saying. What a surprise. Nate ain't fighting. Giga should scare the shit out of everybody at 145. Shane C., it's funny you say that because I feel like people aren't putting enough respect on Giga's name, but then you go over to my bookie, and he's a pretty big favorite over Cater. So there's a lot of disrespect going to Calvin. But when you talk, like, there's no real buzz, right? Why are we not saying, hey, yo, Giga is a fucking problem? Giga's going to be charging up there in a fight or two. This man could be fighting for a belt. We're going to have to start, but we'll find out if he beats Cater. You can't dismiss Giga Chikadze.
Wonderful.
We got Try Hard number 7 coming in.
The Smith intruder got some sort of cushy deal and didn't get any jail time. Anthony was talking about it on a podcast. He was very upset about it. Apparently the kids has rich parents. White privilege, y'all.
Is that what happened? Got a little Dana White privilege? I'm not surprised Anthony Smith was getting a little emotional. He seems like a very emotional guy. Like, there's been a lot of times we were spoofing when he was talking about Conor. He's very, maybe that's where Lionheart comes from. Like, he's, his heart. He's got a big heart. A lot of emotions in that heart. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but it's just weird, man. It seems like every time I watch him on a podcast, I feel like he's going to start crying. He's such a badass. In the cage, right? Tough guy. Took the illegal shot from John Jones. Kept the party going. Real man. But then you see him behind the mic and he's like a pussbag. Like, I don't get it. Moss doesn't speak to Canadian two joints. Yeah, maybe it's the the divide in our cultures. I don't know. My boy Nate still got something left in the tank. I go as far as to say anyone counting him out completely is a fool, says Guido in a Speedo. All right, let's transition. Let's transition to old Nate versus DP. What is going on with Nate Diaz? And we're going to keep in the chat that poll because I do want to know. Get your votes in. I want to know, indeed. And it looks like Volk versus Max is going to be the answer, but I'm just curious if Aljo versus Jan has any juice. Anthony is hiding something. We all want to watch Jan feast on Aljo, says Yoda. I mean, yeah, like there's a part of me that wants Aljo to win, but if you were to say Mystic Moss, who you rooting for? Probably Jan. I don't mind seeing Aljo win. He's been on the show multiple times. Like I said, he got the Long Island connections, but the way he's handled everything, I kind of shifted over as just as a fan, more of a Jan fan. I like the way Jan's handling the Twitter exchange. I like the way Jan fights. So, I mean, listen, I'm rooting for Jan as just a fan, So, whatever. But Nate Diaz versus DP, the Poirier. Okay, this is a fight. I'm kind of sick of it. They were supposed to make this fight over and over again. Then Dustin goes on Teddy Atlas's podcast and says that they're close to signing the deal. Then news breaks that, well, this thing is squashed. The UFC doesn't want it anymore. And I'm like, come on, man. Let's just, can we stop talking about this? And we get sick of Conor McGregor in a lot of the stories because it's like, just fight already. But his leg is split in half. So now he has a valid excuse. Other times, you know, he's running around with coke up his nose and doing whatever the hell he's doing, selling his whiskey. I don't know. But in this situation, he's legitimately injured, so whatever. When it comes to Nate Diaz, though, he just re-signed with the UFC. And I'm kind of like, all right, what's going on? Like, what's the deal? I'm getting blue balls here, man. Let's bring the Diaz brother back. What are we doing? Is he going to fight? Why is he not fighting Tony Ferguson? Why is that not there? What's going on here? Like, what are we waiting for? And if Dustin wants to fight him, all right, let him fight. Or are they just holding him to the side saying, hey, man, you're going to make some money with Poirier, but you're going to make a shitload of money if you run the trilogy back with Conor. It seems like this is what they're doing. It's like they're just reserving Nate Diaz for Conor McGregor, and it kind of makes sense, right? Nate hasn't fought in a minute. He fought Leon Edwards, got beat up pretty bad, had a moment in the final round, but still lost the fight, right? And when was this fight? Let me go to Tapology. But it's been a minute since he's been in there. So if you're going to bring Conor back, he's going to be rusty. Bring him back against a rusty Nate, I guess. Maybe that's the idea. Make a shitload of money. The trilogy finally happens. Bada bing, bada boom. Now, Conor's been throwing it out there that he wants to fight Oliveira. And I'm sure the UFC is entertaining this because they're the UFC. But if you ask me with my mystical crystal ball in front of me, I'm going to say no. Conor's not going to come back and fight Oliveira. It just doesn't make any sense. It really does. Like, listen, I'm a big Conor fanboy. I ride on the Conor schlong. But I'm realistic in the fact that when he comes back, I don't want to see him fighting Charlie Olives. I don't want to see it. I'd rather get some novelty fights in and then bang, carve your way back into the title shot again. Not off this craziness. So the question is, what is next for Nate? Going over to Tapology, Leon was 6/12 of 2021. All right, so by the time he were to fight McGregor, if he came back, yeah, they'd be pretty rusty. In fact, it might be almost a year since he's competed. So it just kind of makes sense. Makes all the sense. So I have a feeling that's what the UFC's doing right here. Now Nate could fight Dustin Poirier and even lose that fight and still fight Conor. Good night, Ellie. But I think they're just gonna chill. I think that's what's gonna happen here because I mean, if it's not DP, it's not Tony Ferguson. Like, what do we got left here? What's happening? Well, what about we go real crazy? What if we do like Nate Diaz, Michael Chandler or some shit? Michael Chandler likes to just get into crazy wars. Throw that fucking craziness together. Like, give me something with Nate. I'm a little hungry for a little Nate. We saw Nick come back, and that was, I don't know what the hell that was. It was fun to watch, but it was sad at the same time. So what do you think of the chat? I'm curious. The Dustin Poirier Nate Diaz fight has been squished and squashed. What's next? Conor versus Gaethje. I mean, that would be some fight. Now, if you're not a Conor McGregor fan, I say make that fight happen. But as a Conor fan, I'd say no, because coming off the layoff, you're asking Conor to get his ass whooped. What's up, MMA-Holes? Says Rod. How you doing, Rod? Hope you're wonderful, wonderful. Nate Diaz versus Masvidal makes sense. It would sell. I mean, yeah, you could run that back. But if you think about it, Jorge Masvidal, he did beat the shit out of Nate in that fight. Now, I wanted to see go longer. You know, that cut was a little, I don't know about stopping it there. It was a pretty bad cut, but we've seen worse fights go forward. And you know how Nate is, man. As the fight progresses, as he gets more bloody, he gets more dangerous. So there is that glimmer of hope that Nate could do something crazy at the end of that fight against Jorge. There's always that chance. But he did get annihilated for 90% of that fight. Like he was getting fucked up. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could do it. The BMF run it back, but I don't know if that does it work? Does that, I mean, I guess anyone that fights Nate, he's like a unicorn, so it doesn't matter. You always move forward if you fight him and win. You're hired. Let's see. Wouldn't mind seeing Max versus Brian Ortega. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, Max Ortega was crazy too, right? That was a nutty fight. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if those two run it back at some point. I think Masvidal is done. He looks like a shitty. He looks shitty. Yeah, he's out of fight shape. But he said the next fight, like he's dead set on getting him the closest to that belt again. Like he's very serious about this. So I mean, I guess he just wants to get his ass whooped by Kamaru. It's like a thing. I mean, why the hell would you want? Why would you want a closer shot at that belt, Jorge, if Kamaru? And think about this, if KHAMZAT CHIMAEV somehow, and by the way, we're going to segue into KHAMZAT in a second, but could you imagine if KHAMZAT fights Masvidal? What would happen to George there? I mean, George would get ripped limb from limb. Masvidal needs to fight Colby. That's his best friend. Like, what the fuck? Make it happen, says Kenny True. It would be a fun storyline, right? That seems like a bad night for Jorge as well. I'm curious if that will ever happen. I don't know. Oh, hey, buddy, a.k.a. Kevin Lee. Haha, that's funny. Jorge is done. I had a hope, but he's a journeyman, says Yoda Twinkie. I do feel that, you know, as days pass, the Jorge train is kind of falling apart. Remember when Jorge was in the news? People were going crazy. Jorge, street Jesus, 3-piece and a soda, beats everybody. Like, I was arguing people left and right about Jorge Masvidal, and I'm like, well, guys, are we, like, what's going on here? Is everyone all right? You guys on drugs? Like, what the fuck's happening? Now it seems like everyone has kind of leaped off after what Kamaru did to him. And by the way, shout out to Will Harris, who I spoke to today briefly. He's in Nigeria with Kamaru Usman filming a documentary. Go check out Anatomy of a Fighter. He would have came on tonight, but he said in Nigeria, the Wi-Fi is not that good. But I do want to get Will Harris back on. He is having intimate moments with Kamaru Usman, the fighter of the year in Nigeria. So I have to check out the second one. I saw a little bit of the first. I'm going to run through the whole series before we get him back on. So shout out to Will Harris. Good guy. Nate was pretty sure he wasn't going to finish KHAMZAT. Street Judy versus Gucci Mink Pimp. He's now a bum. He's not even training. Fook that. No one wants to see Jorge versus Nate again, says B-Man. So B-Man says that ship has sailed. Who do you guys think has biggest pay-per-view in the UFC? I say it's Piotr Jan. Who do I think has biggest or PP? Oh, PP. I thought you were going to say pay-per-view. I thought you forgot the V. Who has the biggest PP? I mean, come on. I mean, Francis would be, he would probably be the guy, right? Speaking of Francis Ngannou, and let me know in the chat who you think. Sean Strickland has completely lost his mind. Apparently, he's going into Extreme Couture, and he's pointing out Francis and saying, let's spar, motherfucker. I want to die. The dude's nuts. I need you all to harass Sean Strickland. Actually, I should just message Chris Curtis. We got to get Sean on the show, man. I mean, that is like a match that needs to happen. Could you imagine Sean Strickland going into the gym, pointing out Francis Ngannou and saying, let's scrap? Like, he's like got a death wish, this guy.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Tropic Tom coming in.
Lies. Nigeria has killer Wi-Fi because everyone there is a prince.
Is Will Harris talking shit? Is he making some stuff up here? Nigeria. He does say he has a case of the bubble guts. He did mention that. So we have to get to the bottom of that. I guess Nigerian, you know, when you're on the American diet and you go over to Nigeria, it doesn't transition well. So I got to find out about that. Strickland versus Hamza. Damn, says Shane C. When we had what's it called? Chris Curtis on, he said that he's seen many of times of KHAMZAT and Strickland in the gym rolling around like two wild cats. So he's seen it firsthand, and apparently it was competitive. Did you say harass Strickland? Are you fucking nuts? That dude might show up at your pad. No, he's not a bad human being. He comes across as a loon. Here's the thing. When it comes to guys like that, I mean, I've been around people that are very similar in personality, where what they say is very off-putting, but if you peel back the layers and know the person, they would literally, those are the people you want on your side. You know? You want Sean Strickland. I know it sounds crazy because you're like, oh my God, he's got diarrhea of the mouth and he runs around with a gun and whatever. I don't know. But Yeah, those are the guys you want in your corner. You know, you don't want you don't want to hang out with phonies. Like a lot of people out there. I've known from experience too with this. You know, you think that people are the nicest in the world, right? And usually, the nicest people in the world are the people who'll turn around and right in your fucking neck. Sean will literally say whatever the fuck is on his mind to your face, and that's what this world needs. That's what, you know, this world needs. Human beings to just be honest. Now I'm gonna be honest. Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor is probably gonna be the next fight for those two. Let's move to a different story over here. I want to move over to the Darren Till story. Actually, this is interesting. I didn't see much. All I saw that Instagram removed Darren Till. And I don't even know what the reasoning is. I doubt the Diaz fight happens because UFC won't pay Diaz the money he wants for that specific fight. Plus, Nate fucked around too much in his last fight, running and showboating. Yeah, but that's Diaz's motto. That's his motto. That's what you want from Diaz, right? He could lose every round, but the crowd goes crazy because he just flips the middle finger. You know. I'd rather see Dustin fight Khamzat at 170. You know, I tell you what, Dustin, I'm going to be all over the place here because, listen, if something sticks out in the chat and I feel the need to speak about it, I'm going to speak about it. I don't give a shit. So we got our news stories we will get to. But Dustin Poirier on Teddy Atlas, he was I really feel bad for this guy. Like, we've teased about Dustin and his charity and all that stuff, and then I mean I could have done a whole show on him not paying Oliveira, you know, like with the and I think he will, you know, pay, you know, send some money over to the charity for Charlie Olives, like he said after the loss. I think he'll make good on that, but he hasn't done it yet, and I was gonna really go full heel on that whole situation, but I'm gonna pump the brakes on Dustin Poirier because I was listening to a little bit of him on the Teddy Atlas show. And Poirier's mind, he's got some serious issues up there, man. You remember the press conference after he knocked out Conor? He finishes Conor. And he should have been prancing around with the media, having a grand old time. You would have thought that he just walked into a funeral home. Like, Dustin Poirier seemed miserable at the press conference. Now he's coming off this loss, which has to be massively heartbreaking. And he's on Teddy's show. And he's just saying, like, he doesn't know what he wants to do, and his wife is supportive, and his coaches are supportive, and blah, blah, blah. And he's just kind of like, he's just miserable. I can't stand Dustin. That's Shane. I got to be honest with you. I'm not the biggest Poirier fan. I'm not. I think he's a fun fighter to watch, but it's not like I'm like gun-ho Dustin. I'm more of the bad guy. I like watching the bad guys. Sell me a fight. Dustin gets on the mic. He's a little too respectful. And it's just like, whatever. But I can't really pile on him too much because I think he's like any second away from just snapping. He does not seem mentally fucking stable, this guy. He seems like he needs the world's longest hug, you know? And there was a guy on Twitter, I noticed this popped up. He was even saying that he has to close his loop because when he's people are texting him, you know, and wanting him for this and that, and he's got to tighten his ship up. But look at this on Twitter. Shane, I get what you're saying, though. I get it. I get it. And I appreciate your honesty. This guy tweets out, Dustin Poirier, Oliveira broke your heart. And he just puts, correct. Like, this poor guy. Oh, God. Like, you know, you won, buddy. Like, listen, you won the interim belt, you know? And by the way, what was this guy doing? Like, this is the tweet that he comes up with. Dustin Poirier, Oliveira broke your heart. I don't know what this is pertaining to. Like, yeah, Captain Obvious over here. And this is what gets Dustin's response. But Dustin won. He got the red panty night. He got the redemption with Conor. You know? You got an interim strap. You got crushed by Habib. The greatest. It's not the end of the world. You get crushed by Charles Oliveira. Oliveira could be someone pretty special too. It's not the end of the world, man. Gloat, man. Sit on your high horse. Run around saying, I'm Conor's daddy. I don't know. Just have some fun with it. Smack around your wife's big fat titties or something. I don't know. Enjoy yourself. He just seems just miserable. Every time he's interviewed, it looks like he's going to cry like Anthony Smith. I don't understand. I don't get it. The Diamond. Let me know in the chat. Are you a Diamond fan? Yes or no? Let me know. Yes or no?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Whoever takes out KHAMZAT, I honestly feel their stock will explode, especially if they finish him. Dude still needs to take out a top 10 next, but it's growing.
I'm telling you right now, I was looking at KHAMZAT CHIMAEV, and I hope he stays active. I hope the UFC doesn't keep on like putting him on the shelf, and I don't know, just make this guy fucking fight. Before 2022 is up, KHAMZAT CHIMAEV is going to be a champ. It's going to happen. I really, truly believe this, man. I think KHAMZAT is on a crash course for that belt. And I understand Usman is a G. I know I was always a Usman supporter. The guy is a savage, Kamaru Usman. But there is a problem, and his name is KHAMZAT CHIMAEV. This guy is going to have gold. There is no doubt in my mind, and I'm thinking 2022, you will see by the time this year is about to expire, KHAMZAT CHIMAEV will be sitting on that throne. I'm telling you, man.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Uncle Mike H coming in.
Moss, can I get hug? Smiley face.
Yeah, bring it in. Bring it in, Mikey. I got you. I got you. Just come on in. Just bring it in, buddy. Bring it in. No homo. Coming right in. Just embrace. A warm embrace right now. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Anyway, I want to know what you think. I want to know what you think. By the way, let's see. Not a Dustin fan. I am, but he's a crybaby. No. Man, I was for years, not so much lately. Yes, sir. Dr. Stoppage. Nope. Wow, a lot of people are not. All right, I'm gonna end this poll. 150 votes, and it seems like Volk versus Max 3 is what you guys clearly rather see over Aljo versus Jan. So that most likely will be in the main event anyway. So, okay. I'm going to see. I'm actually curious. It looks like it mostly knows. All right, so this is interesting. All right, let me drop another poll in here. This is tickling my... I love this live poll thing. Hey, if you're not watching the shows live, you're missing out on the fucking polls, baby. You're missing out on the polls, the MMA-Holes polls. Hanging with the boys. Hit the like button, friends. 94. Come on. Come on, boys. Let's spike up this like button. Let's go. It's Wednesday night, season number 6. Let's get to 150 likes. Happy New Year. Let's go. Hit that like button. Are you a fan of... All right, let me see here. I think it's going to be majority no. This is kind of wild. All right, this is going to be a good one. Yeses or nos. I mean, listen, like if before the show started, if you were to say, hey, what are the audience going to say? Are they a fan of Dustin Poirier? I would imagine majority of people are because he's a good guy, right? Right off the bat, knows. Wow, man. All right, get your votes in. We'll leave that there for a second. As that is playing in the chat, KHAMZAT CHIMAEV. I'm feeling strong about this kid. I mean, listen, he's right there. He needs an opponent, for God's sakes. He needs someone to fight in order to make my prophecy come true. But I think it's going to happen, man. 2022, I think, is going to be his year. But what do you think about KHAMZAT CHIMAEV? Chris Curtis is the only guy who would fight KHAMZAT. No, he wouldn't, man. That's not what he told us. That is not what he told us, man. He says he goes, hell no. He goes, hell. We go, would you fight KHAMZAT CHIMAEV? And he said, hell no. And Chris Curtis is a badass, by the way. And I think, hey, push comes to shove, the right amount of money, he'll fight anybody. But yeah. How about throwing Vittoria against Strickland? Ooh, that's creamy. I like that. Let's go, baby. Boy Scouts like Poirier boring. See, that one girl, she's one of those females that can hang with the boys, you know?
Hanging with the boys.
If you're one of the ladies, the lovely MMA-Holes 7%ers in the chat, you gotta have that thick, tough skin. You gotta have a strong, surging vagina. She knows where it's at. So right now the poll is evening out. Okay, here we go. Now this is making sense. Are you a fan of Dustin Poirier? 48% say yes, and 52% say no. All right, I'm going to see how this plays out, because I'm going to leave this there on the chat, because when people are coming in later onto the stream, I'm curious without knowing what we spoke about. Yeah, there's Nicole in the chat. There she is. Where's Jess? Jess is putting the baby to sleep. She'll be back. Chris Curtis is one of my favorite fighters. I owe that partially to the MMA-Holes. Yeah, Chris Curtis is a badass, man. If you're not familiar with him from PFL or from the regional scene, just bouncing all over the freaking place. The guy was always fun to root for, and now is his time. 7% rule. That's right, Ann. Look at the 7% standing up in that chat. The sexy 7.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Tropical Tom coming in.
Dustin has made too much money to look that sad. Someone needs to get that man a side piece to add a little danger to his life.
Yeah, what's the problem? I would love to have Dustin on just to say, okay, let's get to the bottom of this. Let's get this sadness out of the system. Come on. Let's pull this out of you. This way, when you move forward, like, is this guy getting therapy or something? Like, it's depressing. Incredibly depressing watching him be interviewed. And the thing that really stuck out to me was after he knocks out Conor, not the leg break, the one where he gets his redemption fight on Conor McGregor, like legitimately takes him out, and goes to that press conference miserable. Like, I don't know if I want to be doing this anymore. Like, his feelings are all over the place. The lead up was getting to him. Like, it was just like, what was going on with that? This is number one.
This is number one bullshit.
Bullshit. These crowd don't like Dustin. Oh, fuck y'all. I bet a lot of people are surprised. Right? I think some. All right, so here we go. 54% say they like Dustin. Okay, this could be an interesting one. We'll see how this plays out. Dustin might win this. If Dustin only knew jiu-jitsu. Well, I mean, he is a black belt. Dr. Stoppage. Marab's hog was bigger than Mr. Kent. That why he ended up on the couch.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you, 2 joints. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful.
That's Sonosi.
I respect Dustin as a fighter. As a person, he feels fake. Parading kids for his charity. Can't donate funds 5-0 charity after taking a L. Those little cracks where you see his true character. Guys like Max Holloway, you see it. Did advertise it like whole JBJ.
Interesting. It's an interesting take on Dustin. There was a time where everyone loved Dustin. Right? There was a time where everyone loved P-Head. Interesting. Thank you, Sonosi, for the donation. Appreciate that. All right, so I know we got a little sidetracked for a second here, but let's talk about a little Darren Till. I'm curious what happened here, because I just saw that Instagram took him out. Now, this is the second time. Darren Till's got a tough run, man. Just give me the word if you want me to take care of Canada for you. Well, I know he's having a good time in the chat, man. Dustin is the lightweight goat to Zen book review. All right. Darren Till gives reminders to those who complain about fighter pay. Wait, hold on a second. Jessie, what the fuck? This is an old-ass story. Wait, hold on a second. Am I on the wrong fucking... Oh, yes, I'm on the wrong thing. Okay. What the hell? I was about to say, Jessie, what'd you do here? What'd you do to the news? The website's going a little... By the way, the championship belt has shipped out to Scrope Master. The championship belt. We got to refresh the main page. Get the new goat milk going strong. But yeah, baby, it's a new belt. I kind of like this one. I want to see the final product. So, yeah. Let's see. Where are you? Where are you, Till? Where you at? There you are. All right, here we go. Man, Till's been in the news. Wouldn't care if he won the belt. Still seems fake. Darren Till belongs in Bellator. I tell you, I've been on that train saying he is the most overrated fighter. Now, this sounds like I'm Captain Obvious now, but I'm talking when he was fighting Woodley. I was going out there and saying, hey, man, I don't know why you're sleeping on T-Wood. Darren Till is a tad bit overrated. And, there were people sliding into my DMs, like, just fucking ripped me apart. Darren Till's the next best thing since sliced bread. And, it hasn't been a really good run for Darren. But one thing I got to say Darren does well is he goes on social media and he has a grand old time. He's actually pretty funny on social. And listen, he's a good fighter.
Super chat.
Super chat. Oh, thank you, Operator 84. Just dropping a 199, saying hello. Let's go. Let's go. That's very nice of you supporting the show, yeah. Thank you, Operator. You're a smooth one. So, so Darren Till, let's see what happens here. Instagram has deleted my account, Till wrote. Well, social media is getting worse by the day anyways. Goodbye, everyone. Say hello if you see me outside. Going to work like no other this year. Goals to achieve. Just moved into my new house, as well as congratulations to me. Okay, welcome to Instagram, the Instagram Band Club. Just remember, this is a safe place. Just because they have cock and balls doesn't mean they're a man. And yes, men can get pregnant. Strickland wrote. Oh, wait, what's Strickland? What the fuck? And some. Well, wait. Well, hold on a second. Fellow middleweight Strickland. Offered his condolences. I thought it was another Darren Till. So Strickland says, "Welcome to Instagram Band Club. Just remember, this is a safe place. Just because they have a cock and balls doesn't mean they're a man. And yes, men can get pregnant." Oh God. Oh, and some people also identify as animals. So don't assume a human isn't a dog safe place. Hey, Shiny Boy. Oh my God. Wow. So I guess Sean is banned on Instagram. He's not on there anymore as well. Wow, what's up with the gram? Well, I want to know what Darren Till did though. So what did he write? There's nothing here. Hold on, I'm gonna go to his Twitter. What did he write? Just go to D. Oh, D Till. Oops. Oh, that's good enough. What did he write? I remember getting notifications on my phone saying Tyron Lee was in reception to see me. When I opened notification, look who was. All right. So there's nothing. Damn it. I was hoping. So what did he post to get banned? I mean, Derrick Lewis is literally posting people dying on there. So what could Darren Till have done? Like if you go to Derrick Lewis's Instagram, which is a fantastic Instagram, the Black Beast. Where are you? The Beast. Right, it's just he's got 2.2 million followers. Maybe it's because he has so many followers. But it's just like video after video. And there's one throwing a baseball. But video of just people literally dying, like, or severely getting injured. So what could Darren Till have actually posted? Like, what did he post something about a transgender or something and got the boot? Like, you can post people dying, but God forbid you make a joke about someone that became a woman. Is that what happened? That's crazy, man. I'm actually curious. Like, what could have Darren Till done? Probably made fun of trans people. Yeah, the first time he got in trouble, he posted like a meme of something. He angered the alphabet people. I mean, what? They're a strong bunch. Going after Dave Chappelle, going after Darren Till, I guess. I don't know. The Trans Jeopardy champs got robbed in Cali. That's nuts, man. I was kind of hoping that we would have, a little backstory to this. So hopefully he does an interview where got to get his management team, get Darren Till on the show. But then again, I said he was pretty overrated, so I don't know if he would want to do my show. But I'm just being honest. I mean, he is, no? All right, well, Darren Till, if you want to catch him, go over to his Twitter account, 374K. So he's got a decent amount of people over there doing his thing. The Gorilla, Darren Till. Darren don't give a fuck. I will always watch him. These people are only strong on the internet alone. They're soft. Yeah, I guess, man. This whole cancellation of people's opinions and like, listen, if you disagree or you don't like something, just don't consume their content. You know, it's that simple. I don't know why. Let's put the burst on little KHAMZAT over here. Actually, let's put the burst on us. We need the burst. Yeah, don't watch. Like, don't consume that content, right? I mean, it's super simple. Turn it off. Stop watching it. Block. You can do any of that shit. You have the ability to just click a little button and say, no more, be gone. But, like, why are people out there just trying to cancel other... Like, I don't get it, man. It's just wild. And the hypocrisy of it, too. Like, I mean, I guess if enough people went onto the Black Beast's Instagram and says, oh, my God, there are dead people on there. Get rid of this guy. You know, I guess he would be canceled, too. I don't know. Or maybe it's just certain communities have more pull because of the discrimination, and it's just nuts, man. So nuts. Can I get canceled as B-Man? I mean, you know what? Maybe it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? Getting canceled. Because then you don't have to deal with those people anymore. They have to cry to everyone about how sad and pathetic they are. I'm tired of all this BS. Christina for CEO of Instagram. B-Man, I try to block myself, but I don't work. Buddy, I mean, yeah, I don't think that's how it works. I don't know. But maybe I don't know. Maybe they'll make a self-block button. Like a social media suicide button. I don't know. Possibly. Well, there is you can delete the account. All right. Let's move into some other news here. So Darren Till gets blocked and taken off Instagram. We have no idea why. He just says, oh, well, we move on. The question is, can Darren Till bounce back when it comes, not social media, but can he bounce back in the world of fighting? We will find out soon. So he spoke about Diaz versus Poirier. Let's see. Here we go. Sean Strickland. Here we go. So this is what I was talking about earlier. Eric Nixon praises Sean Strickland, reveals how he routinely calls out Francis Ngannou for sparring sessions. I mean, really? This guy is out of his mind. And how could you not love it? How could you not love Sean Strickland? A guy, so fun fact, when we had Chris Curtis on the first time, Sean was in his corner. And I didn't want to be disrespectful to Chris. So I was like, usually I would just say, hey, he's like, oh, Sean's back there. Basically like, hey, you want him on? And this is before all the buzz and the hype and everything like that. I was like, nah. I regret that now. I should have dragged him on. One of my moments of regret. But I mean, talk about catapulting. Let's look at his resume here. And he's backing it up with how he fights. Even if he goes to a decision, he'll be talking shit the whole way through. Making it as... Like, he's, like, so hard on himself that if he wins a decision, he's pissed off because he didn't knock his opponent out. Sean Strickland. Here we go. Oh, his nickname is Tarzan. I just knew that. No clue. His legit nickname is fucking Tarzan. Sean Strickland needs to start a cult. Yeah, I mean, I think that could get some traction. He don't give a fuck. Only 30 years of age. So he lost that grappling bout with a guy. He was kind of messing around. The guy just launched onto his neck. But he beat Uriah Hall. Basically just beat him down. Christoph Yoko got that decision over there. Brendan Allen. Jack Marshman. The Jack Marshman one's pretty funny because the whole fight's like, come on, Jack, let's go. The whole time. Let's go, buddy. Just trying to get him going. Last finish was Norton Talib. Whatever happened to Talib? I met this guy in Vegas one time. He's got massive hands, like literally wrapped around my hand. I was like, what the fuck? After he had a pretty big win, I think it was at UFC 196. But anyway, fun fact about Strickland: lost to Kamaru Usman. Some people forget about that. Maybe what does that say about Kamaru, right? Spinning hook, a kick, and punches. Zaleski, Court McGee. He got the win over Court, but yeah, Kamaru Usman over there when he was draining himself. Now he's found a home, though. He's at middleweight, doing his thing. And looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. So Sean Strickland, who is coming up against Jack Hermanson at UFC Fight Night. Which one is it? It's in February. Damn, they're going to headline this thing? Oh, boy. All right. Mark your calendars. February 5th. This should be a banger. Maximov versus Soriano. Barriel versus Inchiquani. That's a good fight. Witt versus Rowe. Oh, Rosa. He's an angry son of a bitch, too, man. That's a good one. Witt versus Rowe. That's going to be good. Marquez versus Almeida. Johns versus Castaneda. Steve Peterson versus Julian Arosa. Arosa coming back in the mix. Dawodu versus Trezano. Not a big card. You know, not like superstars over here, but Malcolm Gordon, this guy versus Bondar. This guy's funny, man. He reminded me of the dude from, I can't remember that actor's name. We'll play that game when he fights. Phil Hawes versus Sam Alvey still kicking. Rachmanov versus, this is a long card. How many was this? Like 40 fights on this card? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 fights. Should be a fun one. So there we go, Las Vegas. Inside an octagon, Sean Strickland versus Jack the Joker. Jack took that L to KHAMZAT in the grappling match, but in the UFC defeated Edmund the Hype Train Shabazian. Last loss was to Vittori. Kelvin Gastelum got the win. Gastelum looked horrible in that fight. Lost to Cannonier and Souza. So he's been he's due for a loss. Who do you got in this fight? The Joker? Or, this is a pretty nice step up for Sean. I think Sean can get it done. I think he can get it done. I'm curious what the odds are going to be on this thing. Jack Hermanson has crazy jiu-jitsu. Yeah, he does. Chris Moss versus Dustin Poirier would be a great back and forth slugfest. Bring it on, baby. Make it happen, Dana. I'm going to stay hydrated. Right now, are you a fan of Dustin Poirier? All right, so now it's starting. Okay. So now people missed our conversation before, and now everything's starting to come across as I would have thought. That more people are a fan of Dustin than are not a fan of Dustin Poirier in the polls. 112 votes, 113 votes, and 58% say yes, they are a fan. All right, so there we go. I thought we were losing. I thought everyone was jumping off that Dustin ship. If he takes another loss, though, that might change. Ed Sheeran looks like autistic Napoleon Dynamite. I don't know these guys. You don't know these guys? What? Well, it's all good. This is a home, the MMA-Holes, where we have hardcore fans. We have casual fans. We have in the middle. We have a little bit of everything here. So if you don't know, now you know. You're going to learn, like Dana White says, right? So, Jess, what do you think? Welcome back. Oh, the baby went to sleep. Look at that. Yeah. Nice job. Wow, she's going. You're getting good at this.
Yeah, I don't want to jinx it.
Drugs? What do you do?
No, she just has a routine.
A straight left hand?
We've established a routine.
Oh, okay. You made a deal with her? Made a deal with the devil? All right, so this fight night, I was taking a peek at this. Hermanson versus Strickland. I was just talking about the story of Strickland calling out Francis Ngannou. First off, what do you think about that? You know, Extreme Couture. By the way, this is the belt that we got. This is
very nice.
The exact style.
Very, very nice.
It looks like a BMF type belt. The only reason why we went with this one here, this is not this is not exactly what it says, but it's pretty much the style. The reason why I went with this is because, usually we go with the gold belt, but this one here, it doesn't have a reflective plate, so this all stands out better. So the MMA-Holes logo will say Scrote Master on the top, 2021 Goat Milk Champion here. It's got Mystic and Jessie on the sides with the Wonderful Wonderfuls. Damn, man, that's going to be a hot belt. That's going to be a hot belt. Anyway, clicked on an ad. So yeah, what do you think about Strickland, man, calling out Francis Ngannou sparring? What do you think about this?
I I don't even really know the whole story. I don't know the whole deal. What's do you want me to just go into
go
it?
for it then.
All right, here we go. Hold on, I got to pull it up though. You're going to have to bear with me for just a sec. Dang it. For some reason my links aren't working today, Moss. So I have to pull them up manually. It's such a pain in the arse. You know? You know when you have that pain in the arse?
My arse is in pain right now.
It is?
Massive pain. Hemorrhoids.
Hemorrhoids?
Actually, I haven't had a hemorrhoid. When I was a delivery guy, I had a couple of them. And they're not very comfortable because in the truck, they would bounce around. My ass would bounce around.
You used to have hemorrhoids?
Yeah, I had a hemorrhoid. Like a little tail. Like, it wagged.
I thought a hemorrhoid was like a blister on your butt.
No, it's like your tailbone. It's like a tail. Like it's like your tailbone comes out a little bit more. It's like an inflammation, in your like above your anus. Yeah, it's weird. It's uncomfortable.
That's not a hemorrhoid.
What the fuck do you think a hemorrhoid is?
No, I thought a hemorrhoid's like a blister.
Yeah, I would sit on the truck and I would no power steering on this thing. So I'm like, my shoulders all fucked up, just turning the wheel, and then the truck was just bouncing for 12 hours a day. And as I was bouncing on this thing,
that's not a hemorrhoid. Hold on. Hemorrhoids are swollen veins in your lower rectum. Internal hemorrhoids are usually painless but tend to bleed. External hemorrhoids may cause pain. Also called piles are swollen veins in your anus and lower rectum, similar to varicose veins.
It wasn't like super sticking out, but it was like it was like a little inflammation down there, and it made it fucking incredibly uncomfortable.
Caused from straining during bowel movements.
That's one of the reasons, yeah. But no hemorrhoids anymore, thank God. That was a pain in my ass. You know what was really embarrassing? Now that we're on this crazy topic, I had like, what is it called? Is it ringworm or something? Not ringworm. What the fuck is that? That skin.
Ringworm?
Is that ringworm?
I
don't know if it was ringworm though.
It's like a parasite.
I had something going on. So
you'll know if you have ringworm.
When I was a delivery guy, I had moments where I couldn't find restrooms, so I'd have to shit in bags. You know, makes you think about your delivery guys now. As I would go in the back of the truck, I'd be like in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom, right? So I would be like wiping myself and stuff like that, right? I think that was it, yeah. And my butt, I got like some sort of like infection, right? Mm-hmm. From, I guess, wiping myself with like dirty ass hands. From,
yeah.
You know, I was
skin
just
infection.
Disgusting,
yeah.
right? So I went to the doctor, and I had to like show him my ass, and he had to draw a diagram, and we were dying laughing, like, cause like he drew my ass, and then he put like an arrow pointing to where, and I'm just like, what the fuck? What is going? Like, how did you sign up for this job, where you have to look at a man's ass and draw a picture of my ass, and then point to where the ringworm is? So yeah, I had
ringworm from shitting in bags.
I think it was from that. Yeah, I have to, because that's like from, it's like a bacteria, right?
It's
like
caused by fungus. Yeah.
So it's like basically, and my hands were black from just dirt and grime, and I had to take a shit and I had to wipe my hands. So I mean, it wasn't a sanitary situation. Now, of course, when I was done, I would Purell the shit out of my hands because I felt bad. I didn't want to be touching everything.
Why wouldn't you Purell your hands before?
Because I had the shit really bad. You know, like I had to go. When you gotta go, it's not like, oh, let me Purell. No, you're like, I gotta fucking go. Anyway, that's my ringworm story. Thank you. Real men know what I'm talking about.
Oh my God.
Real men that work jobs that have hands with calluses, and my hands were like, my nails were all fucked up, like there was black in my nails and shit like that. Even if I would wash it over and over again, I couldn't get it out.
You couldn't like clean under your nails?
Yeah, I could, but I mean, it just took time. And then once I weaned myself out of that job, everything started. Now I'm like a girl. I have feminine hands.
You know how to clean under your nails when you're washing your hands, though, right?
No, but I'm talking about not the nail stuff, but I'm talking about like, you know when your hands discolor? Like, you ever see a mechanic?
Yeah.
Right? They have that
oil.
soap that and it still doesn't come off, right? It's like stained onto the hands.
Well, I think car oil is a little different than dirt.
I'm telling you right now, 16 years in the job that I was doing, if you did it, you would understand exactly what was going on here. And people like, wear gloves. In summertime, you're not going to wear fucking gloves. It's too hot. So my hands were black. Every day. Black. It was disgusting, man. If I had to itch on my nose, I would rub my nose with, like, over here, try not to use my hand, but it was still dirty. So my face would get all fucking greasy, and it was disgusting.
It's disgusting.
It's a terrible job. 16 years of that shit. Anyway, sidetracked. Give us the story.
All right, according to Damon Martin of MMA Fighting, Eric Nixick praises Sean Strickland, revealing how he routinely calls out Francis Ngannou for sparring sessions. There are a lot of ways to describe UFC middleweight contender Sean Strickland, but the one word that seems to encompass him best is unconventional. Never one to bite his tongue in interviews or over social media, Strickland has often detailed the wars he seeks out in the gym, not to mention a few fiery exchanges he's had with some training partners or teammates in the past. In recent months, Strickland has become a fixture at Extreme Couture, one of the most established combat sports gyms in the world.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Hey, Jimmy, how you doing, buddy?
One time I had a cyst the size of a softball on the ass crack.
Ew.
It hurt to shit. The doctor got a razor blade, made a small cut and drained it. All I remember him saying was, "Whoa, there are buckets of pus coming out."
All right, tell me your grossest story in the chat. I need to know. Immediately. I got so many disgusting stories. Thank you, Jimmy, for sharing that. I needed that.
I guess I haven't been alive long enough to have one.
I mean, but yeah, you work if you worked at this job, there were some women that worked there, and they weren't women. Like, I was convinced that they had a cock. Like they were not feminine women at this job. But it's just not. It wasn't easy. It's not an easy place, man. It beats up your body. People will retire. This is how crazy it was. People will retire from the job and die.
Well,
like, if I stayed in there long enough.
If you're working your body to that extensive
the hips go, people just die because you're constantly going, and then all of a sudden, bang, you stop.
Well, it's probably the stress.
And then bang, you're dead. So I had to get the hell out of there. I didn't want to die, Jess. So shout out to delivery drivers, man. I have a lot of respect for you guys. I always try to tip a little extra to them and stuff, you know. These guys, they work a lot harder. They may look like they're happy, they're not. They're miserable. They're miserable human beings.
In recent months, Strickland has become a fixture at Extreme Couture, one of the most established combat sports gyms in the world, while preparing for his upcoming main event fight against Jack Hermanson. Head coach Eric Nixick will be the first to admit that Strickland is definitely one of a kind, but he also adds that 27-fight veteran has been a welcome addition to the team. He said, "I love working with him. It just reminds me of the old school days at Extreme Couture, to be honest with you. When you have Mike Pyle and Jay Heron, and these guys get in on a sparring day and they didn't give a shit who you were and if you were friends. They were trying to fight you every day, and that was the vibe. Of course, we went away from that because it wasn't great for longevity of your career, but there's an element of that I do like, and a tenacity that I think is important. You want to have competition in the training room. Now, Sean's delivery is never the best. He doesn't deliver things like nicely to people, but when you boil things down, the way Sean talks to his teammates or some of the people in the room, it's really just because he cares and he wants to get the best of you. I know it sounds weird to say, but a lot of times he'll ride certain fighters in the gym, and he's riding them because he sees more potential out of them than they're giving themselves. So understanding that Sean Strickland, he's going to tell you how he feels. He's going to be real all the time. I think it's kind of a breath of fresh air because in this day and age, and you don't get that a lot. We kind of just sat down and went over some ground rules on, hey, this is the standard for the gym and the team. We're going to let you be you, but you have to meet the standard and follow our rules as well, and we're not going to butt any heads. He's been great. He's been absolutely great since then. It's funny because him and Brad Tavares will spar one round every sparring day. Brad will only give him one round. He goes, that's it. That's how we remain friends. If we spar more than one round, we're going to fight and we're going to hate each other. So you get one round and that's it. We're done. We're moving on to somebody else. There may be no better way to understand Strickland than to hear about all of his call-outs in the gym, where he will seek out any fighter who could be better than him regardless of weight class. Perhaps the name at the top of the list is UFC heavyweight champ Francis Ngannou, who is likely 50 pounds heavier with a 7-inch reach advantage, a 3-inch height advantage, and power that's unmatched by anybody else in the sport of mixed martial arts.
We're going to have to cut this story. People are falling asleep in the chat. We're going to have to. So, all right, so he's a badass. Mm-hmm. We all know that. This guy couldn't. This is MMA fighting?
Yeah.
All right, who wrote this?
Damon Martin.
Damon.
He's notorious for his long stories.
What is this, a novel? Look at this shit. Yeah. Bro, get to the point. Just give us a couple of quotes and move on, man.
Oh, he gave a couple.
Like, what's going on? Does he have to, is he getting paid by the fucking letter?
I don't know.
What is going on here? Maybe he is.
Damon Martin always writes long stories.
He's got diarrhea of the fucking fingers. Typing away all this bullshit. Like, come on, bro. We get it. He's a badass. Fucking A. See, everyone fell asleep in the chat. They're sleeping. Now we got to wake them up because of Damon Martin. Thanks, Damon. Anyway, we have to get Sean on. You know what? I think I'm just going to pull the trigger and text Chris Curtis. I don't want to keep bothering the guy. You know, he's such a nice guy.
He's going to be like, oh, this fucker again.
Yeah, he's like, why isn't a chick DMing me? It's this guy again. But I do want to get Sean on. Like, come on.
Yeah.
You know, we got to get him on. He's a necessity. Anyway, so he's a badass. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Jessie, I worked in his machine shop for 25 years. I have so many scars.
That's a real man. See? I tell you what, there's some sort of badge of honor, though,
Did
right?
you shit in bags?
Did you shit in a bag? You're not a real man unless you shit in a bag. I don't know. I mean, at least, you know, now I'm a big pussy. But at least when I was a delivery guy, it was kind of cool, you know? I would show up at the office and, like, receptionists would give me the wink.
The wink?
Yeah, they'd give me the wink, Jess.
What wink?
Yeah. Happy holidays. You know? Yeah. There was something sexy about the delivery man. I don't know what it was. There was the shorts. I have no idea. It was weird. But it was like, yeah. I don't know. It was cool.
Maybe you're a little full of yourself and you just think that's what was going on.
Okay. Maybe. Possibly. But listen, maybe she had something in her eye. I don't know. But no, it was a cool thing. Like when you were a delivery guy, I don't know. It's just cool. Like you're that mysterious guy. But then what they don't see is during the holidays when you lifted up the fucking the gate in the back and there's just front to back boxes just tumbling all over the fucking place. You're just like, I hate my life. They don't see that. They just see the sexy guy in the shorts, you know?
Yes, because delivery uniforms are so sexy.
Well, you clearly don't watch porn, Jessie.
Try an anal abscess. They drain that but leave it as an open wound and you have to go in every day to have the wadding removed and replaced.
Ooh.
You don't know pain. 30 days of torture. Barbaric.
Oof. Wow. An anal abscess. Is this turning you on? Is this giving you a surge, Jess?
Nah. Unfortunately. Nah.
An anal abscess. This is making me hungry, all this stuff. You guys are fucking making me real hungry.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Jess was about to read that whole page.
She was going to go there.
I usually just, when it comes to the stories, I just read the fucking news until someone stops me.
Yeah, I had to stop you. We were all gonna go off ourselves. We were all gonna start shitting in bags to entertain ourselves.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on from Sean. Sean Strickland. Thank you, Sean Strickland, for being a badass. Can't wait for your fight with Jack Hermanson. What do you think? Another decision? When is this guy gonna finish someone? Right?
Right.
We gotta get a finish.
Yeah.
Oh God, what is this?
Oh, Anthony Smith is sucking Jake Paul's cock. Not sure if you're aware.
Did he swallow or?
So it's kind of funny that this came up because remember when it went literally the last show, I kept saying Jake Paul doesn't give a fuck about fighters' pay. He's just pretending he does and blah blah blah. And I was going on and on about that. And then coincidentally, Anthony Smith comes out and says Jake Paul really cares about fighter pay. He's already pulled money out of his own pocket. So let's dive into it. And I have to warn you. Actually, no, this isn't David Martin. This is Jed Meshew.
Okay, and this is MMA fighting as well?
Yeah.
You know, like I say a lot of things about Vox and whatever, but I have to admit, majority of the stories we pull from is MMA fighting.
Yeah, well,
right?
we pull from Bleacher Report, MMA Mania, SB Nation.
Yeah, but I mean, Bloody
BJ
Elbow
Penn.
is horrible, and their stories. Oh, MMA Junkie's not bad.
MMA Junkie, MMAnews.com.
I would
Yeah,
say
I pull
if
from a
anyone
lot
were
of
to say
people.
what's your favorite, it would be MMA Junkie, just all around, because with the problem with MMA fighting is
They're a little biased.
Vox, Ariel, everything. But you know, and their writers, I you know what am I talking about? But I feel like they're the top dog, though, right? When it comes to the media.
Yeah, in a sense, I guess, but I can't stand. I pull from MMA Mania just when there's like a juicy topic, but it's difficult because they're like a romper room over there. Like you can't. It's all opinionated articles. It sucks.
romper room.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
The MMA Mania is a romper room.
You know, there was a show called Romper Room when I was a kid. It was called Romper Room. What is a romper room?
I don't know. I've just heard it. I've heard it when referencing a bunch of Karens, so I like to refer to it as a romper room.
So do you think it? All right. Anyway, can we get to 100 150 likes. We have 180 people watching. 150 likes. We'll celebrate on a Wednesday night. It's the first show of season number 6. Let's spike the likes up and be wonderful, wonderful. Let's see if we can take this into the 150 likes club. Let's go, everybody. Like away. Appreciate it as we get into this Jake Paul romper room.
All right. Over the past few weeks, the biggest story in MMA. I know the links are all fucked up. I don't know why. You have to like.
What's going on?
Why are you trying to get to it? Just show
so
the
I
picture.
Just for aesthetics. What's your favorite media outlet in the chat? I won't discriminate, but what is your go-to? I mean, of course, it should be the MMA-Holes, right? Because we harness all of the interwebs and throw it into your face. But if you're just out there scrolling around, what would be your source of MMA news? I'm actually kind of curious. And to make life easier for you,
yeah,
themmaholes.com. Check this out.
Yeah, baby.
If you go to our...
was that too excited? Maybe I got too excited about that.
You go to our MMA news over here. You click on this on the MMAHoles.com, the MMA news section, and we made life a lot easier. We harnessed everyone in the MMA world. The MMA Fighting, MMA Junkie, Aaron Bronstatter, Brett Okamoto, Ariel Helwani, Bleacher Report, all these guys. The UFC, everything. Even got some bare knuckle stuff and Bellator stuff here as well. And you can scroll through all the feeds and not even have to sign into Twitter. So we're making life a lot easier. Listen, this is what we're doing here on the MMA Holes, okay? You don't even need a Twitter account. You can just scroll through, get all your news, have your cup of coffee in the morning, and we got you covered.
Morning.
All right, let's go back.
All right. Over the past few weeks, the biggest story in MMA has been the escalation of Jake Paul's feud with Dana White and the UFC. It all began when Paul knocked out Tyron Woodley in their boxing rematch last month, after which Paul told White he had embarrassed your whole company and then called for White to allow him to box some of the UFC's biggest stars. A couple of weeks later, White responded to Paul, flatly refusing his request and then issuing a challenge to Paul to submit to a random drug testing. Paul then kicked the new year off by countering White's challenge, saying he would retire from boxing and compete in the UFC and thus be subjected to their drug testing policies if White would raise fighter pay and commit to providing long-term health care for UFC fighters.
Can we just talk about something really quick? Toe Cutter in the chat says Helen Yee's voice is like nails on a chalkboard.
Oh, that's not nice.
I agree.
That's not nice.
I preach, Toe Cutter.
That's not nice.
Because I want to cut my toes off every time she appears on my YouTube feed. It's the truth.
It's so mean.
Tell me about what you think. Why does she talk like...
It's so mean. She didn't do anything to you.
Listen, I'm just making an observation. Someone says in the chat, I just happen to agree. She talks like Eeyore. Why do we... Why did she do that, Jeff?
I don't think she does.
All right, I'm going to be Helen Yee. Can you tell me about what happened to this the other day? And it's going on in the kitchen.
She does not sound like that.
Can you elaborate on...
Stop it.
Thank you. Thank you. What is going on with her voice? Is right. Why is it going up and down like that? Tell me. What is that?
If White would raise fighter pay and commit to providing long-term health care for UFC fighters, a challenge White functionally ignored, reiterating his first challenge to Paul and then lambasting Paul's manager, the former CFO of the UFC, Nakisa Badarian. So when you said, what does Nakisa mean? That's his name.
Who?
When Jake Paul was showing off the texts and you're like, what's Nakisa?
Oh, it's the
That's his name.
Warlock? Okay.
Yeah. With the battle lines now clearly drawn between Paul and White and this war of words showing no signs of stopping, many in the MMA community are wondering whether Paul's interest in bettering fighter pay and benefits is genuine.
I can't talk about this shit anymore. I can't. What are we doing? So what did Anthony Smith say? I'm like...
All right, so Anthony Smith, I'll just jump to the point. He basically said, I think he's being honest. I think he actually does care. Here's the deal. We've had so many we've had these movements where people talk about fighter pay and blah blah blah. It's always the people that it benefits.
Can you read it like Helen Yee?
No, and I'm not meaning just fighters. In the history of the sport, we've had people come from the outside and they want to seem like they're some savior and they're going to come in and they're going to save us and help us. But at the end of the day, every single one of those guys has had their own end game. Jake Paul has nothing to gain here, so I think do believe it. It does sound genuine because it's a pain in the ass. It's hard to do, and he's still attacking it. He's continually bringing it up for months and months, and he's not letting it go.
Thanks, Anthony Smith. You just fucking put me to sleep. God, he's boring. Poor Anthony Smith. Oh my God, doesn't he have like 40 podcasts too? He's jumping on everyone's show and doing his thing, and he's another one.
Anthony Smith. Let me just be real with you for a minute.
Yeah, he sucks.
Let me posture up here.
Go ahead.
Listen, I like Anthony Smith a lot. Big fan. I'm always going to root for Anthony Smith in all of his fights. However, I don't necessarily agree with what you're saying here. Jake Paul is continuously bringing up fighter pay to Dana White over and over again, not because he gives a fuck. He's doing it because it gets under Dana White's skin, and he knows that. He knows he's going to get a reaction. Look at Dana White's Instagram. He literally, what was it, a day or so ago? Dana White posted a video specifically for Jake Paul. Specifically for Jake Paul. Jake Paul knows all the right buttons to push to get a reaction out of Dana White. It keeps Jake Paul in the headlines, keeps Dana White and the UFC in the headlines, and they're going to continue going back and forth about it. Jake Paul does not give a fuck about fighter pay.
I got to be honest with you. I checked out at what Anthony Smith was saying. I don't even know what he said. So I don't even know what you said.
He thinks Jake Paul's being genuine.
All right, I don't even
and
care.
that he actually does care about fighter pay.
Jake Paul does care about fighter pay.
But he doesn't. Let's be
what?
real.
All right, let's get out of it.
You're not paying attention.
I'm kind of done with Jake. I've had enough. Jake's annoying me now. I don't know. There's something, and frickin' Ariel had did I say frickin'?
Yeah.
Frickin'.
You sounded like your dad.
Frickin'. No, he doesn't say frickin'.
He says frickin'.
No, he says fuck.
No,
like
he says freaking.
Ariel had Tommy Fury on, and I'm like, come on, guys. What are we doing with this? Like, all right, enough. Right? I think enough's enough. Get another fight, Jake Paul versus whoever, and then we'll talk about it. He knocked out Tyron Woodley. Whoop-de-doo. I don't care about Tommy Fury. The guy's got a personality of a log.
A log?
Yeah.
What kind of personality does a log have?
Well, go in the garage and check it out. That's Tommy Fury over there. What I throw in the fire pit. That's just a bunch of Tommy Furies. Actually, that has more personality because at least the fire crackles. It goes. Tommy Fury is just like, I'm pretty.
Well, he is pretty.
I'm pretty. I'm so pretty. I am so pretty. Unlike my half ugly brother, I am so pretty. I am Tommy Fury. Here, let's go to Tommy Fury. Look how pretty this man is, Jess.
Pretty?
He's such a pretty guy. He was just in New York. And look at this. I'm in Times Square. And I'm just gorgeous. Look at me. What do I have? A Versace bag or something? What is that? What kind of bag is that? Anyone know about bags?
No.
Look at me. Is that his cock? Look at Jess. Look at his cock over here, Jess. My cock.
You can't even see anything.
My cock is pushing my sweatpants over. Look at my straps. My cock, my big furious cock is pushing off to the side because I'm so glorious and pretty. Look at me. Look at my dreamy face.
Why are you so obsessed with this guy?
Look at me in Times Square. Just gazing into the camera. So pretty and glorious. Thank God I'm pretty because I have the personality of a fucking log.
Thank you. Log.
Okay. That's Tommy Fury. Are we done with him now?
I guess. You're the one who got on Tommy Fury.
All right. No, it was Jake Paul segued. Trying to make it entertaining.
Gotcha,
you know.
gotcha, yeah.
All right. Vittori.
All right. According to Andrew Richardson of MMA Mania, Marvin Vittori is challenging Jake Paul. You said you were done with Jake Paul.
Everyone wants to fuck Jake Paul.
Because
everyone just wants to fuck him. They're so desperate. It's just disgusting.
Money.
Real fighters begging to fight a YouTube guy. Real fighters begging because fighter pay, Jesse. They're not getting paid enough. So these fighters have to grovel to Jake Paul to get paid. Oh, God. Begging to fight Jake Paul. Come on, Marvin. Why's your name Marvin, by the way? Why would you name a kid Marvin?
I would name my kid Marvin.
Marvin?
Yeah.
You're destined to be a fighter
name.
if you name Marvin, right? Is there any Marvins in the... I mean, that's
It's
just...
a very classy name.
It's not
Marvin.
Marvin?
Yeah.
Classy.
I like that name.
That's like you're guaranteed to get beat up in school. That's why you got to be a fighter.
What about Harrison?
Harrison sounds like someone Sean Strickland would shove in a locker.
Harrison?
Although my friend named his kid Harrison.
That's a
after
good
Harrison
name.
Ford because he's a badass. I guess Harrison might be better than Marvin.
Yeah, Harrison's a good name.
You can't get away with Marvin. Marvin
Yes, you
Hagler,
can.
maybe, I don't know. Marvin, could you imagine?
Marvin.
Could you imagine your name Marvin as a boy? Like, I mean, I could just, hey Marvin, you know? Think about it. Like, oh, it's Marvin again. Look at Marvin over there, sitting by himself, the freak. I don't know. It just doesn't sound like. It doesn't work. You got to be a fighter or a superhero
Marvin.
because
Or an
you're-
actor.
That's the backstory. Your name is Marvin. Hey, Vittoria, why did you get into UFC? Well, it's a funny story.
My name was Marvin.
My name is Marvin. I don't even know why he doesn't even have that accent.
You tried.
Are we going to talk about Marvin? No.
All right. You don't want to?
Nah. Because it's not
You're
because of him.
killing me here.
No,
I'm
if he was
clicking
talking
links.
about UFC, I would say yes. But he's talking about Jake Paul. It's like, I mean, what are we doing? Why, Paul's not going to fight you, bro. Like, aren't you under contract with the UFC? Aren't you too big to be fighting Jake Paul? Is that like he doesn't fight guys your size? Like, that's the deal. Get out of here. Go fucking eat some spaghetti. Get out of here.
Mike Perry versus Julian Lane has been booked for February 19th's Knuckle Mania event.
Okay. I got to give Bare Knuckle some credit. They gave Caleb Harris a title shot. It would have been so messed up if Julian Lane gets rewarded to fight Mike Perry after he gets suspended, gets pulled out of the Caleb Harris fight. Now Caleb gets a belt. I mean, Bare Knuckle's doing the right thing.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty cool.
Shout out to Caleb, by the way, because he did lose his grandfather just recently.
Yeah, Caleb
So-
Harris, one of the best. He is fighting for a title, and it's going to be even more sweet if he gets it done.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to cry. He said he's going to get emotional. So
Well-
now, Grandpa, the title, hot girlfriend, he is going to be crying. He's going to be crying, Jesse.
Yeah.
I might cry too. That might be the first time in the MMA-Holes where I shed a tear for the Lionheart Caleb Harris. Anyway, so yeah, now you have Julian Lane, Let Me Bang versus Mike Platinum Perry going down. H3 versus Joe Rogan. I did see that. Did you see that? He's next now. H3 is just like this blubbery mess that just targets people and just attacks.
Well,
And now he's going after
that's
Joe
sort of,
Rogan.
yeah, it's his thing.
You see what he was doing?
Nah. I could care less, honestly.
Well, I mean, Joe Rogan is MMA, so hold on a second. H3. I could see how people find this guy annoying, but you know, Fat Man Bad. Okay, so basically he's attacking Joe Rogan because he's such a fucking let's see, where does it start? I mean, look at this guy's relentless.
I don't understand what's going on.
So basically he's saying, if you're that healthy, Joe, why did you need the kitchen sink to get past COVID? Like, he's boasting about being healthy, and being healthy protects you from COVID, yet he needed everything with the
well, he
kitchen
didn't
sink.
need it. He used it to get over it faster.
Okay, here you go. Here's what he said. And if you give a shit, I don't know.
Joe Rogan, who lives on elk meat, egg yolk, and human growth hormone with lungs full of tar, thinks he's healthier than everyone. This motherfucker is such a bitch that when he got COVID, he threw the kitchen sink at it. If you're so healthy, just ride it out like you say a man should.
Now, he's not wrong. He's actually not wrong about that, right? I mean, I'm not like I give a shit, but
Dude has caused so much vaccine hesitancy and misinformation, and he doesn't even have the balls to stand by the shit he preaches.
oh boy.
Now
Now
he's
we're
on-
going down that road. Okay.
Now he's on his show talking about how fat people should just die of COVID. Dude is such a fucking piece of shit.
I want to get this show to the point. Now, Ethan Klein has a show where when he goes live, H3, some people probably don't even know who this fat guy is. But when he goes live, he has 42,000 people watching. Him just sitting there and shitting on people. We need to get that level where we can say whatever the fuck we want. I need to get to Ethan Klein level. What else did he say?
Instead of getting vaccinated, he takes Regeneron, an experimental drug that was developed alongside mRNA vaccines. His logic makes no sense, and then credits ivermectin, which does fucking nothing for COVID. Which, by the way, I did some research. It really does nothing for COVID. Not to mention whatever the fuck is in Alpha Brain.
But he's Joe Rogan, Jess.
Meanwhile, while Joe is on a big pharma conspiracy against vaccines, someone needs to ask him who makes ivermectin and Regeneron and all the other shit he took when he had COVID.
See, that opened the door. Now, I don't even think Joe... he probably didn't even fucking
This whole
respond to us.
fucking vaccine, COVID, jeez Louise.
Look at this
Joe
guy.
Rogan, a steroid pinata whose gut is so swollen from human growth hormone, lectures people on health.
He's going hard on him. So he was going after the guy from Triller. I guess that's boring. Yeah. I can't with this guy. Look at him.
You say I'm unhealthy, yet Joe Rogan, adjusted for outfit, has the same body as me. Interesting.
Oh, God. Oh, fuck. You know, I may disagree with a lot of things this guy says, but listen. Look at this guy. He's relentless.
Joe Rogan on Joe Rogan. Everybody should be called on their bullshit, because when we say ridiculous shit, someone's supposed to go, bitch, what? And if no one says, bitch, what? When you say ridiculous shit, you're hanging around the wrong group of people.
Now, if you ever watch his show, he's got like Tourette's and he's like twitching and shit.
Epic journalism moment. Obese YouTube star Ethan Klein criticizes Joe Rogan for his health choices.
Obese YouTube star. I want to get fat and be like this.
But he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, you don't care. That's great. I want to get to that point, you know? Listen, we have 180 people. Let's go, baby.
If
Let's
anything,
go.
he's probably eating it up.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Sure,
We got to get
Joe
Ethan
Rogan,
Klein level.
The guy who said the moon landing was faked for like 5 years could never be a conspiracy theorist. Confused on the analogy here. Obviously, I'm not a health expert because I'm fat, and Joe is not a conspiracy theorist because he has muscles. Seems like talking points of the day boil down to fat man bad, strong man good.
And here's a beautiful picture of the two of them. Look at that, Jess. Yeah.
Why doesn't everyone just do what the fuck
This is better
like
than,
they feel is best?
You know what this guy's doing though, right? So all he is a shit stirrer. That's all he is. He starts fucking. He goes after people that are celebrities in the public eye, and he just tears them down. Like that's his thing. Whether you agree or disagree with the guy, he just goes out there and just lights people on fire. He clearly also, if you ever watched, and I just stumbled on H3H3 like literally like 2 weeks ago. He's a carbon copy of what Howard Stern used to do back in the day. He is attacking everyone.
Yeah.
Like, and even his format, the way he's put out there, you could tell this guy's seriously inspired by Howard. But he's taking it to the next level because he's got a massive social media following. So anyway, that's Ethan Klein. Anything else here? Let's see.
YouTuber Ethan Klein criticized Joe Rogan for spreading COVID misinformation. After Klein, who was Jewish, criticized Rogan for pushing vaccine hesitancy, Rogan's fans flooded Twitter with fatphobic and anti-Semitic remarks.
That's what people went after him? That's
and he
good.
says, NBC News didn't even call me obese in the headline.
I guess he's bummed about that. See, he's getting what he wants, the attention. So basically, he's playing everyone like a fiddle. He doesn't give a fuck if you say a good thing or a bad thing about him. He's going after Joe Rogan, who is literally the golden calf. Like, you don't go after Joe Rogan. That's a big no-no. You go after Joe Rogan. I mean, you say his name 3 times, he pops up behind you and tells you a terrible joke. That's what Joe Rogan does. Like, Anyway, looking at the poll, 62% are fan of Dustin Poirier. So the everything's well. Let me know in the chat what you guys think about that whole situation.
He has his own demons in his head. Ethan has wicked facial tics, eyes, and brows fluttering like mad.
Yeah, he does.
Rest in peace, Joe Rogan says Aunt Ann. Carl says PPV Dizzle with a couple flexes up in there. Duke Chronic says Jabba the Hutt. Duke Chronic says Joe and that girl made fun of his wife. What girl? Joe Rogan is forever. Rest in peace is notorious. Drunk says I really don't give a fook. King of the Dead says fook him. Duke Chronic says Donkey is great.
Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Tropical Tom.
Ethan just signed with Beard Blubber FC.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. I don't think that was a joke. I think that was the truth. Okay. So thank you, Tropic. Hey, thank you to all the donators. We got 133 fucking likes. Let's go, baby. 133 likes. We are en route to 150. We need some help. There's limited time left in the show, so hit the fucking like button if you haven't done so already and become part of the Wonderful Wonderfuls.
Wonderful, wonderful.
All right. What else we got in the news? Anything else?
If you just want to like speed through it, because we only have a couple minutes left.
Actually, no. I was like 10 minutes late, so.
Young Jacek is targeting Zhang Weili as a rematch for her UFC return in 2022. No month set.
When did she fight last?
Oh, you know what? I can't click this link.
It's been a minute.
Oh, here. Yes, I can actually. She last fought
MMA fighting
March
again.
2020 when she lost to Zhang Weili.
When was it?
March 2020.
Wow. Holy smokes. March 2020. Jesus.
Yeah, so it'll happen 2 years.
That's like Dana White said that she's all set already. Like she's got a ton of money in the bank. She's got the new boobs. I kind of would like to see that fight again. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, as long as her head doesn't turn into a balloon.
Listen, her head, it was meant to look like that. Her head was born to look like that. I don't know what that means.
My foot was up a balloon.
Would you like to see this again?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I would.
Okay.
I like watching Young Jacek fight.
Yeah, I think that fight was great. That was like fight of the year, wasn't it, when they fought? So let's go.
Yeah. Let's go.
I want the Boogie Woman back, though. Can we take the implants out and bring back the Boogie Woman? I look at the camera and I see, I want to see that craziness, the fire in JJ's eyes, where she would wink all the time. That's what I wanted. I want the Boogie Woman. I don't want the Booby Woman. Ever since she put the freaking silicone in her, ruined everything.
The Booby Woman.
But I'm down. Anything with the story, or
not really? She just wants Zhang Weili as her next fight.
Yeah, I'm a fan of JJ. She was one of my favorite female fighters. She still is. I still root hard for her.
Yeah.
Even though the boobies destroyed everything. It's like babies and boobies fuck everything up.
What? Don't say that.
For fighters, yeah, it's the truth. It's the truth. You dragging your kids around fight week, you lose. You dragging your fake boobies around, you lose. Oh God, here we go. Paul Felder, what does he got?
So fourth McGregor fight would be too much for Poirier right now, according to Felder. Hold on, let me open it up for you because I actually think this is a pretty juicy story.
Would be too much? Why?
According to Harvey Leonard of MMAnews.com, former UFC lightweight contender Paul Felder believes the fourth fight with megastar Conor McGregor would be too much for Dustin Poirier right now. Poirier is currently coming off his second devastating title defeat in the UFC. Following his first, a third-round submission loss to the great Khabib Nurmagomedov in 2019, the Diamond fought his way back to the belt in impressive fashion. After rebounding with a main event victory over Dan Hooker in 2020, a bout awarded the Fight of the Night honors and widely considered a Fight of the Year contender, Poirier revisited his rivalry with a certain notorious Irishman in 2021. Having leveled the score in the feud by becoming the first man to knock McGregor out at UFC 257, Poirier was seemingly in line for a shot at the vacant belt. Instead, he chose another money fight with the former two-division champ, one that ended with trilogy glory for the Louisianan. But while most expect him to close out a spectacular year with title success, the formidable underdog presence of champion Charles Oliveira stood in his way.
Could you imagine, though? Think about this. Poirier takes on Conor a fourth time. Conor sleeps him again. Poirier may go off the deep end. He doesn't really gain anything. Like, he's going to get a ton of money. He fights Conor. But could you imagine if Conor finds a way to get the dub? Chances are no. Poirier's looked great against Conor as of late. But could you imagine
I don't think
if he collects the loss in this fight and his heart was broken with the Oliveira? It's like he already looks depressed.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Like, it would be a mess. So if you're Dustin, would you take that fight, or would you just steer clear? You would steer clear?
I guess for eyeballs, because
you get a ton of money.
Everyone watches Conor, so yeah.
But is it worth it? You already got your redemption. You did what you had to do. Do you want to drag your family through that again, or do you want to just you could already make money in other fights. There's a lot less risk losing those fights. I say less or less risk.
Felder says Poirier needs fun and lighthearted fights, quote unquote. He says Poirier was. I'll just go to the quote. He said it should be done. Poirier versus Diaz. That should have written itself right then and there after Dustin lost that fight to Charles Oliveira. He needs a fun fight. He just needs to go out there against somebody and not be worried about titles, not have the pressure. Even a Conor McGregor fight I think is too much for him right now. Just go out there against another top dog, somebody who's been around for a while, and try to get a W. If not, go get paid.
Jessie's grabbing her tit.
I'm grabbing my chest.
Grabbing your
chest
tit.
Pains.
Grabbing your tip. Grab it. Oh, you have chest pains?
Yeah.
Well, that's not your chest. It's your tit.
I have a chest pain right here.
You have a tit chest pain? Oh, I thought it was time for it. Okay, good. Sorry. I had to share that with everybody.
Wonderful.
He said, just go out there against another top dog, somebody who's been around for a while, and try to get a W. And if not, go get paid. Make people see it. I think he needs a lighthearted fight. Not that any of them are easy, but he needs one with no title implications on the line.
Okay, thanks, Paul. I think Paul just put me to sleep, too.
Everything's putting you to sleep.
I don't know what it is. My attention span is really bad today. I don't know why. I got my head's in the clouds.
Yeah, you're not paying attention. I noticed that.
I pay attention to that. Trust me. I know what's going on. It's just I don't care. And that's the problem, Jess. I need to care. I need to care about this stuff. Charlie Olive says he hasn't received $20K donation from Poirier. And I said I could shit on him. I can do it, but I'm not because I feel bad for DP, man. He's down right now. He's down in the dumps.
I did say earlier, it's a little weird that Poirier gave Conor shit for the same thing. And now he hasn't given his donation.
So you're, wow.
I just thought it was funny.
I mean, yeah, like it's an easy route for me to just, play that whole card, but I'm not going to do it. I think DP is going to make well. And you know what? Conor made well, too. He just didn't give it to his charity. He gave it to someone else. Which is hilarious. Man, DP really shot himself in the foot with that one.
Yeah.
If he just kept his mouth shut, Conor would have delivered.
Well, apparently he had reached out to Conor's team multiple times before he ever came out and said something.
But like I said before, and just like with Dustin's situation, when you have money coming in from different countries and whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, you got to jump through hoops. You got to make sure things are legit. It's probably the exact same thing that's happening with Poirier. It's just kind of ironic, because I'm sure Charles's people reached out to Poirier's people and said, hey, where's the money?
Yeah.
Why would Charlie say something like that unless his people reached out? So it's like the shoe's on the other foot. And now Poirier's like, wah, I did what Conor did. You know what would be funny if Poirier gives the money to like another charity?
No, I mean, I don't think
Let's go.
There's no animosity.
My foot was a balloon.
That'd be great.
No animosity between the two.
No, I know. I'm just making a joke.
Yeah.
He wouldn't do that.
That
Jess.
was so funny, Moss.
Yes, he come on, Jessie. What do you think? I'm serious? Poirier's like, fuck you, Charles. You open your mouth, now no money. That would be, imagine Bully, like they have Bully Maguire. You ever see that on YouTube? They take the bad Spider-Man from Spider-Man 3, Tobey Maguire, and they made Bully Maguire. They have Bully Poirier.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Bully Boy Muppet.
What do you think about Bully Poirier? I think that should be the thing.
Okay.
Before Poirier retires, he should be Bully Poirier and just become a complete prick. Like, that's it.
Complete prick?
I can't talk today.
I don't know what's going on.
And I got to say this, Jessie.
Yeah?
I don't like that you make fun of it.
I'm not making fun of you.
My speech impediment. I don't like this.
I adore it. I think it's cute.
I'm starting to feel like you're trying to cancel my impediment.
Yes.
And it's...
Yes, I'm trying to cancel your impediment.
It hurts. It hurts me in every way.
Yeah.
In every single... By the way, we are 10 fucking likes away, baby. If you support my speech impediment, you will help us out and give us 10 more likes. 10 more likes. Come on, we're almost there, friends. We are 5 away from getting those 10 likes, Jessie. We are 3 away.
Yes, sir.
From getting those likes, Jessie. Tonight, it can happen. We can get the 10. Whoa, 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 whoa. 1, 2, 3, 4.
John Jones, crash the show. 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 John Jones, crash the show.
Oh, I should reach out to Devin.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't spoken to him in a while. Thank
John
you, people.
Jones coming back in year 2030.
Is John Jones going to come back?
He says he is. So, but in 2022.
Training in AZ, getting ready for the comeback. John Jones 2030. How about a standing ovation for everyone that dropped a donation tonight? Let's go.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Big shout out to the donators tonight on a Wednesday night, season number 6, and we hit our goal. We got the 10 more likes. Let's go.
Whoop, whoop. Nostalgia. I got 10 more likes.
I've got 10 more likes.
I got 10 more likes.
Fuck you, dislikes. I've got 10 more likes. I've got 10 more likes.
I got 10 more likes.
I hope the dislikes die of AIDS.
Too bad you don't have the hopping graphic anymore.
Wow. From
Oldie.
year one of the MMA-Holes,
Oldie but goodie.
we brought it back. That's one I'll never get rid of, Jess. No matter how many songs we go
I
through,
hope you never do.
I'll never get rid of it. Because the dislikes will die of AIDS. But they have died of eggs. Eggs. I'm like the Simpsons.
What's going on?
I'm like the Simpsons.
What do you mean?
Because I said I hope the dislikes die of AIDS, right? And what happened?
You said I hope the dislikes die of eggs.
What happened? There's no more dislikes. They died of AIDS.
Oh, so you're saying you predict the future?
Nostradamus strikes again.
Yeah.
I struck again, Jesse.
Yep.
I struck. I just predict everything. The dislikes, there's no dislikes. They've completely died of eggs.
It's true.
Wow. All right. Final stories, and we skedaddle. What do we got here? Thank you for the likes, guys. Appreciate
So we already touched on that one.
it. Look at me. I'm pointing at the sky.
12 fights or fighters who could be UFC champions by year's end. It's not really a story. If you want to go look at it, you can and kind of give your opinion on that one, but it's not a story. It's just kind of like an opinion by
Okay, let's see who the
Yahoo
story.
Sports.
12 fighters. All right. KHAMZAT's going to be on there. And Derrick Lewis. Those are my two. Keep a lookout. All right, so
you gotta click story continues.
Oh god, this is gonna be one of those where here we go.
So strawweight Rose Namajunas is a reigning champ. It goes into like this whole thing.
Okay.
Rodriguez is number 3 and doesn't.
They just don't give us a list.
Horse.
What the hell?
So they go with Rebus for strawweight.
Okay, Hebus.
Flyweight.
Excuse me. Sorry, I didn't mute my mic. I just gave everyone COVID.
Flyweight, they're going with Manon Fiorot. Bantamweights, they're going with Avila.
Nah, no one
Julia
cares about
Avila.
women's weight.
Featherweight, they're going for Kayla Harrison if she, jumps into the UFC. Flyweight, they're going with Manel Kopp. I'm pretty sure it was Manel Kopp. Yeah, Manel Kopp. And then keep going. Bantamweight, Merab Dvalishvili. Featherweight, Arnold Allen. Lightweight, Rafael Fiziev. I almost said
he's pretty fun.
Welterweights, they're going with
KHAMZAT
Chimaev.
There you go.
And middleweights, Sean Strickland. Light heavyweights, they're going with Magomed Ankalaev. And heavyweights, they are I'm going to go with Tom Aspinall.
I don't know about this list here, Jess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Next story. The Alexander Volkanovski Max Holloway, we already talked about that. Darren Till saying goodbye.
Yeah, we
banned
spoke
from
about
Instagram.
that too.
Yep. All right, so then I don't have to touch on that one. And then Derrick Lewis is calling out Stipe Miocic, saying it would be a great and entertaining fight.
That's the one that we missed. Derrick Lewis versus Miocic. To end the show here, Stipe Miocic being called out. What a call out by Derrick Lewis on ARIEL Helwani's show. By the way, ARIEL Helwani got lit up by Derrick.
Did he?
Yeah, that's why no one likes him and this and that.
Watch that.
Yeah, Derrick was funny. He was pretty funny. Kind of shitting on ARIEL. But so Stipe Miocic being the next fight for the Black Beast, I really like that. Does Stipe take the fight? I mean, he can't just sit out forever, right? I mean, man. Derrick Lewis versus Miocic. So Miocic at number 2. It's the only thing that really makes sense. Who wins that fight?
I would say Derrick Lewis.
Really?
Yeah, we've seen Cormier knock out Stipe. Lewis would knock him out easy. Stipe's not the same. He's old man Stipe.
So you think Stipe's donezo, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. But I tell you what, though, Stipe could drag him down and do the Miocic grind that he did on Ngannou the first time. But it's Stipe, oh man, listen, Derrick's my guy. He's the guy I've been riding for a while. So I would probably bet and root hard for Lewis. But I mean, that's not a layup, man. That is not a layup. And if people are sleeping on Stipe after that last performance, I mean, Jesus, I'm put some respect on Miocic's name.
Yeah.
I think this is crazy. Stipe Miocic could be the most disrespected fighter.
No, I don't.
I'm telling you.
Listen.
People don't give this guy enough respect. It's kind of crazy.
He gets the respect. It's just he's not exactly the most entertaining person to listen to, and he doesn't really sell his fights very well.
So he's Volkanovski, you're saying?
Yes. He has the respect. He's a great fighter, arguably a GOAT of the division, but it's just difficult to get excited when you hear Stipe Miocic is fighting. That's all.
Okay. Well, there's really not much I have to say about this. All I got to say is Stipe doesn't get enough respect. I'm very partial to the Black Beast. He's one of the guys I always root hard for. He's fun, man. For many years now, I've been betting and rooting hard on the Black Beast, and he's delivered some great moments. We've fallen flat a couple of times. It was interesting. Derrick did say that the Houston, I tell you what, man, I hit the nail on the head. A lot of people laugh when I start talking about the psychological aspect of the game. And Derrick Lewis said that Houston crowd just destroyed him.
Yeah.
He said the pressure was just too much. He doesn't want to do it. He likes fighting at the apex.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, man. You guys are downplaying walkouts and, the emotions going in, cage door closes, what the emotions are like. It is literally, I mean, that is a major part of these fights. And Derrick Lewis completely opened up about that in Houston. So the Black Beast calling out Stipe Miocic is a pretty savage move. The question is, does Stipe take it? What do you think? You think that fight's going to happen?
Nah.
Okay. Jessie says no. So then
you don't
what's
want
next?
That smoke.
So what's next then? What's next for both of those guys?
I would say for Derrick Lewis, go into that whole Ngannou fighting Gunn, and then Lewis fights Jones, and go into that whole debacle. And then I say for Stipe, just go be a firefighter.
What?
Go fight some fires. I don't know what's next for Stipe, honestly.
All right, well, Tai Shui Vaza, who was on Ariel's show as well, who's become a rock star, was calling out the Black Beast. Black Beast says he has no problem fighting him. Black Beast will fight anybody. Like, he doesn't give a shit how far down. Like, he just wants to fight, That's a pretty fun fight. Tai Vaza put together a nice win streak, but he's still too far down to throw him in the mix.
Yeah.
You can't really run it back with I don't know. Blades got just fucking annihilated, and I tell you what. Wow, man. What about Aspinall?
I just said Aspinall.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Aspinall is someone. I don't know, man. That heavyweight division's kind of weird, huh?
Yes.
Like, if you get past like this, it's kind of blah. You look at these guys. There's kind of like a little traffic jam over there in this division, and you got Cyril and Francis, who are just animals. Although Cyril, for the most part, hasn't been too exciting, and then he fights Black Beast and looked great. So, I'm hoping that Francis versus Gane is going to be a fire fight. I don't know. What do you think about this heavyweight division?
I like where it is right now, Moss.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, no, you don't. You want Stipe to retire.
Well, aside from that, I don't want him to retire. I'm just saying, if you're asking what's next for him, I can't really imagine what would be next with regards to where the rankings are right now.
This weight class needs Derrick Lewis as a champion. We need to get him as a champ. We need Francis to win and Derrick to bounce back, fight for the belt, and beat Francis again in a boring fight. I don't give a shit. I need Lewis to be my champion. In order for me to really give a shit about the heavyweight division, we need the Black Beast on top of the game. That's what I'm going to need over there. Let me know in the chat what you think, but we got to get out of here.
Yeah, because I got to piss my pants.
Jessie's going to pee all over herself.
Wonderful.
You do have the bathroom right there. You could.
I don't want to miss the end.
Play the Derrick Lewis roast of Ariel the bitch. I didn't get to see it yet.
Yeah, it was just throughout the whole interview, and Derrick kind of was. He was pretty funny about switching his number, the bobblehead not being on the table. That's why no one likes you, over and over and over again. You know, shit like that. Okay, let's get out of here, guys. We'll see you on Fook Off Friday. Another weekend with no UFC, but I was thinking, Jess. Second channel, finish Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
On our gaming channel. Have a little alcohol on Not the MMA-Holes. Link in the description down below to both of our extra channels. So go subscribe to those. And shout out to our sponsors.
Thank you so much to our sponsors. My Bookie, Polymarket, ESPN Plus, and Headrush. Promo code MMA-Holes. That's MMA-HOLES for all of your discounts on all of your favorite products. By the way, Moss, you know what I was thinking?
Yeah.
Real quick. No, I'll tell you later. All right. Thank you so much to our sponsors. MMA-Holes, MMA-HOLES for all of your discounts on all of your favorite products. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We will be live again on Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Fook Off Friday. Don't miss it. Hit the subscribe, hit notification, hit the like button. And as always, guys, don't be an a-hole. Be an MMA-hole.
Let me just say something really quick. I saw someone say, who was it? Drew Becker said, "Oh my God, Cobra Kai is so corny." We started watching the last season that released. It probably is the worst show on TV. We stopped. We are done. We are done with Cobra Kai. It is horrific.